Are you looking to learn more about the North Houston suburbs? Well, today we're actually going to be talking about Conroe, Montgomery, Magnolia, Klein, Tomball, and Spring, which I categorize as the North Houston suburbs. Hi, my name is Jordan Schlacey, broker owner of Joe & Co., and I am so excited to be sitting here before you, even with I have to put the elephant, point out the elephant in the room. My face is so red on this camera, and I have no idea why, but we're just going to push on through it. But Jordan Schlacey, Joe & Co., I am talking about North Houston suburbs today. My goal at Joe & Co. isn't just to be a realtor, but to be your resource. And one of those resources that I'm sharing with you today is a blog post where I talk about the North Houston suburbs. Now keep in mind, everything I talk about today is going to be linked down below. So let's go ahead and jump on over to the Joe & Co. website where this blog post lies. So on the left side of the screen, you can see the Joe & Co. website. On the right side of the screen, technically you still can see the Joe & Co. website, but this is a in-house map that we had created, and you see these are the North Houston suburbs that I'm talking about today. So if it has really good access to I-45 or 249 in the case of Tomball, that's what I'm categorizing as North Houston suburbs. So you have Conroe north of everything, and then Montgomery is right down below it. Montgomery has a funny shape. I need to Google it for y'all one day. And then you have Magnolia right below, you have the Woodlands below there, you have Tomball, and then you have Klein. Technically, almost all of this over here is going to be Spring, but their downtown Spring is here, so this is technically more of a suburb, and this is more of a suburb. It's a township, and everything else is a city. So the website we're talking about is the Joe & Co. website, and the blog post we're talking about is North Houston suburbs. So everything is going to be linked down below, but I have it pulled up here on the left side of the screen. I definitely recommend checking out the website, the blog, and this particular blog post if you are trying to figure out where to live in Houston. So we have like a whole series and a whole bunch of different blog posts talking about where to live in Houston. So I am doing a whole bunch of different posts in this series, and I'm talking about all the different directions of Houston. So the one you're watching is the North Houston suburbs. So I'm going to break them down and talk about them individually. So Conroe has been named the fastest growing city in the United States. It's one of the most active places where U-Hauls are driven to, which I think is really cool. So most active for turning them in. And it also warrants its title because of land opportunities. So it's been a very affordable place to live. It's just north of the Woodlands, so you have really easy access to the Woodlands and everything it has to offer. Conroe is this county seat, so the Montgomery County courthouse system is inside of Conroe, so in downtown Conroe. And the school district of the Woodlands is Conroe ISD, so that puts some things in perspective. Conroe also has a really big lake called Lake Conroe. So I'm going to pull up different links for y'all. So Lake Conroe is here. It's quite a large lake. They created it so that we would have another resource for water if we ever had issues. So that's cool. So it houses Lake Houston, Lake Conroe, sorry, which is a 21,000 acre recreational lake. So I also give you my favorite neighborhoods within each city that I am focusing on in each suburb. So for Conroe, the city of Conroe doesn't have any A-rated schools, so I focused on B-rated schools, and I took all of the most popular neighborhoods where there were B-rated schools. And so this is your list over here. Wedgewood, I can't talk today, Oak Ridge North, Greystone Hills, Venetian Pines, Deer Pines, the lakes at Crockett Martin, and so on and so forth. And then I also categorized some runner-ups. You're going to see tons of links down below, and you're going to see them throughout the blog post. And so I also linked to homes for sale. And this is going to populate a list, and then you can filter down. So I picked all the best elementary schools, but you can filter down by clicking more options to see what that city has to offer when it comes to housing. One of the coolest things I did for y'all, so this is just a resource, I'm not quite teaching you a lot, but I'm showing you where you can find a lot of information. These are all the links to a whole bunch of blog posts I've written or YouTube videos that feature Conroe. So family-friendly neighborhoods of Conroe, best new construction, Conroe, Texas blog post, best coffee shops, the movie theaters, 5-day trips to take, food trucks, 7 best bang for your buck neighborhoods, our relocation guide, and it goes on from there. So Conroe is going to really be a really good city if you want to be close to the water, if you want a good school district. It's going to be a good city if you want a little bit more land, and there are others on the list that have land opportunities as well, but Conroe is going to be one of the most affordable places to live. But again, you're looking at B, and there are C-rated schools up there, and I think there might be 1 or 2 D. So that's one negative about Conroe, is that the schools aren't as good in some other areas, but there's definitely lots of opportunity and affordability in Conroe, which is really cool. And then you have access to the lake. So around the lake, there's 3 cities altogether, and so it's important to note that you have Willis and Montgomery as well. So this is probably my favorite area of Lake Conroe, and it's actually in Montgomery. So that's important to share with people. So the next city on the list, it's technically a suburb. It's Klein, Texas. So Klein is in Spring, and it is defined by the boundaries of Klein ISD, and it's one of the most established areas on the list. I talk about Klein a lot if you're not new to the channel, and so it has really good affordability and a low crime rate and really good school options. So this area of town has A-rated options. It's really hot in here, and that's like, I'm actually not this red. I wanted, like, this is neon green. See how bright that is? And I wanted to show y'all a highlighter. Like, this is, the Apple camera is horrible. I wish I didn't have to use it. But anyways, so I live in the Klein area. It's just south of the Woodlands. I'm 21 minutes from the Woodlands. I spend most of my free time in the Woodlands. All my family lives in the Woodlands. The tax rates are super low. Tons of award-winning schools, especially elementary schools. If you're not new here, you know I love Klein. So here are my favorite neighborhoods and the most popular ones when it comes to sales. So you have Augusta Pines. I can't talk today. It really is hot in here. Augusta Creek, Champion Forest, Glenlock Farms, Memorial Northwest, and Windrose. And then I did runner-ups. So I did Memorial Creek and Memorial Creek Estates, the Memorial Northwest Estates. This is at Klein Lake. That's newer construction. The Preserve, Stonegate Court, and so on and so forth. And then I also did links to these. So lately I've been selling a lot of houses in my neighborhood. And I can show y'all map view, and this is really cool. This is another way to look at houses, so you can see exactly where that area is. So Klein is this long shape here, and it actually goes far down. It goes like all the way here. It's like this long skinny piece right here, and then you have really good options up here as well. And it's really cool because, so you see Glenlock Farms, Champion Forest. This is my website, search.byjoeandco.com, and you can see exactly where every house is falling. I'm going to do list, and I'm going to sort by newest. This is probably my favorite way to look at the website, so you can see houses that just came on the market. So Champion Forest and Glenlock Farms just got some new homes. Those are the ones that just had the most recent new homes. I actually got to see this house. It was really cool. The outside I just thought was so pretty. So that is Klein, and then I did the same thing for Klein. I linked to all of this awesome stuff down here. So these are blog posts I wrote, and links to YouTube videos and our YouTube playlist for Klein. I even talk about what the weather's like here, so lots of really good resources if you're considering Klein. I know I already said it, but affordability is really big here. You can really get a big home in some of these older neighborhoods, but then you have something on the flip side of that. The older homes come with more problems, so you have to keep that in mind. If you're considering an older neighborhood, you might have foundation issues or plumbing issues or electrical, and not all sellers fix those things. It's definitely a seller's market right now. It's January 21st. It's a Friday, 2022, and the market's insane right now, especially if you're under $450 and you're not cash. So that's one thing to keep in mind. But so that's Klein. The next city up in the North Houston suburbs is going to be Magnolia. So Magnolia is, I feel like a lot of the areas are, but Magnolia is definitely a breath of fresh air. So I drove through, I think it was just yesterday, I drove through Belleville and I uploaded that video, and then I drove through Magnolia. And the way my clients compared Magnolia and Bellevue, they felt like Magnolia was more commercialized and there was more traffic and more things happening there. So it's definitely an area with a ton of growth. I definitely think, so Conroe, fastest growing city, I think Magnolia is smaller, so it probably won't hit that, but it's right next to Conroe. And it definitely has a lot of growth and a lot of new neighborhoods. So the only downfall about Magnolia is it also does not have any A-rated schools. I think that will be changing in the future. I think the makeup of a lot of communities and areas will be changing, especially when it comes to school ratings. Magnolia, I think, will be one of them that will have A-rated schools in the near future. So there is a section of the Woodlands that falls in Magnolia. It's part of Sterling Ridge, so I definitely would recommend that area. The cool thing about Magnolia is you can find houses, really nice big houses on really big lots. You can find the casitas, and it's just a really cool area. Lake Windcrest is one of those options. High Meadow Ranch. North Grove is newer construction. I love North Grove. Indigo Lake Estates. Audubon, did I spell it wrong? Looks like I spelled it wrong. But Sawmill Estates. And then I'll have a list of runner-ups, so you definitely can see all those there on the blog post. And if you click the link for new construction, you can see, so Lake Windcrest, so this house is brand new, it's going to be on a bigger lot, really good price, only $559, and then there's your new construction in North Grove, but these are going to be all the B-rated schools. Oh, that's a really pretty house. Another really pretty house. So definitely tons of options. You have really good affordability in Magnolia, and then you have mansions as well. So that's a really cool place to check out if you're looking for more land and you want to get away from the city. The only downfall about Magnolia is that there's some poverty in a lot of areas, so you definitely want to, obviously, I shouldn't say you want to navigate around that, but if you want the better schools, then you'll probably stay away from the lower income areas. Not that I never feel unsafe in these places. It's just statistically they're lower income. So that's Magnolia. And you can see all the good links I did here. So I've been doing these blog posts about neighborhoods with large links. And so I categorize it, and I definitely focus on the B-rated schools again. And so I showed you where you're going to get the largest pieces of land. Gosh, I can't talk today. But Indigo Lake Estates is one of my favorite neighborhoods, so definitely recommend checking that one out if you're looking for larger lots. But yeah, tons of blog posts about Magnolia, and we've done a couple of driving around videos, so you'll have to check those out on the YouTube channel. If you have never been to the actual YouTube channel and you're just stumbling upon this video, if you click on my name or my face, it'll take you over to the YouTube channel, and I'll show you what that looks like real quick. So this is what the YouTube channel looks like. The most recent uploads are going to be along this line, and then I have the rest of it categorized. You can see a handful of playlists on the front page, but then you can also go to the playlist button and you can see even more, so that's really cool. So I definitely wanted to make sure that y'all had access to that and you knew how to navigate to that spot. But next on the list is going to be Montgomery. So Montgomery is over here, and it goes a little farther north as well. There are a lot of really cool neighborhoods in Montgomery. I spent a good portion of my day there today. So the first neighborhood I hung out in there today, or the first neighborhood on the list, which I happen to hang out there today, is Wood Forest. Wood Forest is this huge master plan community, and it's right on the edge of the Woodlands. It's really popular. The cool thing about Montgomery is they have a really good school district. So you have Montgomery ISD, and then part of it is Conroe ISD. I love Montgomery ISD. Montgomery and Tomball ISDs are two of my favorites because they're smaller. My kids don't go to school in either one, but I definitely like them. I just like the vibe they get and the admin and things like that. I like the sport clubs. I just like everything I hear and everything I've researched about Tomball and Montgomery, so they're favorites of mine for sure. But Wood Forest has tons of amenities. I talk about Wood Forest all the time, and you'll be able to find different blog posts about Wood Forest. But Wood Forest is awesome. And then you have Bentwater, that's on the lake. You have Crown Ranch, which I love, and Blue Jack National is the coolest neighborhood I've ever seen in my whole entire life. Y'all probably, if you've been watching all the new videos, you've heard me talk about Blue Jack National. It's probably like the nicest neighborhood to ever come into existence, and definitely in Texas. So If you are looking 1 million plus, Blue Jack National would be my go-to. I would live there in a heartbeat. I told my husband, like, I want to live there so bad. It's just the coolest neighborhood ever. But definitely tons of Montgomery neighborhoods, and I love Montgomery. I really don't know what else to say about it. I love Montgomery. So tons of really good links about Montgomery. So I definitely recommend checking those out if you don't need to be in the city. It's far away from everything, so that's one thing that you have to accept, is you're going to have a longer commute. And then the next city on the list is going to be Spring. So this is probably so remember Spring houses, the Woodlands, Klein, all of this area over here is Spring. So it's hard to talk about it because you could talk about it in 4 different like sections. So like this list and this list and this list and this list, and it would all be applicable. But yeah, definitely Spring is big. It houses all of my favorite communities. I list all of them out here. So all of the Woodlands, Carriage Hills, Augusta Pines, Champion Forest, Memorial Northwest, Stillwater, Windrose. I think some of Stillwater is probably not in Spring. But I don't know how that one made it to the list. But Winston's Reserve, Windrose, and the Woodlands. I think technically Stillwater is probably in Conroe, but it's also technically a really good neighborhood. And then I have my runner-ups. So I don't know if I click the Montgomery link. We're going to click the Montgomery link really quick, and then I'm going to click the Spring link. So I looked at 250 plus, 3-bedroom, 2-bath, 2-car garage. What else did we add to the list? Minimum square foot, 22 days. So I did 14 days. 22, I can't talk. So this is a house in April Sound. So this is right off the lake. Really beautiful house, really close to the water. Let's see what else we can click on. Walden, that was that section of the lake that I really, really liked. Tons of options in Walden and Wood Forest. I showed this house today and I really, really liked it. I loved the floors. I loved the floor plan. I loved how open and big it felt. The pool was really nice. And what was amazing about this neighborhood was you had no neighbors in the back, no neighborhoods on the left. There was like a gully or a drainage ditch going down the left. The house has never flooded, so I personally wouldn't worry about it, but you can see all this green space next to the house. So technically your backyard wasn't big, but your kids or your dogs or anyone else would technically still have other yard. You just wouldn't have a ton of fenced-in yard, but you can still see that, plenty of room for dogs to do their business, but it's on a cul-de-sac. Anyways, I thought this house was really awesome. I got to check that one out today. There was another one that I fell in love with. That's a really pretty house in Walden. Oh, that's exactly. So I had a client tell me that they wanted a house that looks like this, but they have to work in the city, so I don't think the house is going to work. But tons of really cool neighborhoods in Wood Forest. I'm not going to click on everything because I know y'all are going to get bored. But then I will click on the Spring link, and we can kind of see what's new on the market in Spring. So Winston's Reserve, is this brand new? I wish it showed the days on the market on the first page. So I have a client looking. The pictures aren't that great, but the backyard is really awesome. I have a client looking in there right now. But Glenlock Farms again, Creekside Park. I spent some time in there today. Those are some of my favorite houses. Holy cow. So Bender's Landing is really cool. It's right off of Grimm Parkway 99. It's right over here. The homes in there are amazing. So I can tell just by looking at this one that this is a really good price. That Glenlock Farms house again. Oh, this is Glenlock Farms. So there's a house, it's not this one. I used to nanny and tutor and babysit. It definitely looks like that backyard. And it was in Glenlock Farms. But Spring definitely has a lot of different neighborhoods for every different lifestyle. So I really think Spring is the #1 place people are picking right now. In all of Houston, you have Spring, Sugar Land, Cypress, and Katy. Those are the top 4 suburbs and cities people are picking to live in. And keep in mind, Spring houses the Woodlands. So that's part of the reason why Spring is so popular. But Klein has really good school districts, and you can really get a lot for your money. Tons of blog posts about Spring, so you'll definitely have to check those out. And then next on the list is Woodlands. The Woodlands is award-winning master plan community north of Houston. Homes used to start in the 250s, but they are more in the 400s and 500s now. The coolest thing about the Woodlands is the walkability and the amenities. So you definitely have access to everything. It's really beautiful. The trees hide everything. You have the lake. I love the Woodlands. People, I mean, y'all hear me talk about the Woodlands all the time. So here is the front of the Woodlands. This is all my favorite stuff to do, and then a map of the villages. So I kind of list some of my favorites here, and then I give y'all some links. I'll show y'all some houses real quick. Oh, I found a typo. I need to fix that. So there are 86 properties with A-rated schools in the Woodlands area. So I just did the schools of the Woodlands. So as you can see, there's some new construction that falls in there, but there's technically, their borderline is no new construction. Like every once in a while you can find it. Let's see. All of my kids are home right now. So let's do more options. More options, there it is. And I can show y'all new construction. It's on the screen. Who sees it? So it pops up 33. So D.R. Horton, that's a really popular neighborhood. Stillwater is really popular. But these are not in the Woodlands. So you have Creekside Lakes. That's technically not in the Woodlands. This is in the Woodlands. So you could buy a brand new house in Carlton Woods, the Creekside Village, for $2 million. And let's see if there's anything else in the Woodlands right now. So another Carlton Woods house. So you have technically 2 houses in the Woodlands. So this house is being built. I assume it was a tear down and they're building this house. So there's a $4 million house for you. So 3 options so far. So there's supposed to be a new section of the Woodlands coming. And so 2 developers bought some land. So it's like right in here. I don't know if you can see my mouse down there, but it's like right in here. Very, very small portion of land was purchased and they put it in the township. So eventually we'll have a little bit more, but there's pretty much no new construction. It's really annoying. Tons of great links. You can see I have a lot of good links about the Woodlands. On the right side of the screen, you can see our brand new website, wishilivedhere.com. And so we just like blog our little hearts out about the Woodlands. So I really want to provide as much information to you as possible and to be your go-to. Allergies, y'all. So really cool website that I definitely recommend checking out if you're interested in the Woodlands, but tons of links. So there are tons of year-round events that happen in the Woodlands. I just look like I ate a cherry. Like I am the Veruca of strawberries. So Ironman, Taste of the Town, Wine Walk, 10 for Texas. What's the Waterway Arts Festival is really awesome. The Children's Festival, Lighting of the Dove. So all the things that the Woodlands does for Christmas is really stinking cool. So we had fun blogging about Christmas this year. And then next on the list is Tomball. So I can show you where Tomball is again. So Tomball's over here. Actually, the newest village of the Woodlands, Creekside Park, is in Tomball. So that ends up being on the top of my list. It's a little more rural, but the downtown is really cute. You also have Wood Trace. It's technically in Pinehurst, but I love Wood Trace. It's in Tomball ISD, and it is in Montgomery County, so that's awesome. Fairway Farms, North Point, Lakeside Creekside, Champion Lake Estates, handful of really good neighborhoods in Tomball. And so again, these are all A-rated schools. So this is a really beautiful house. That's the backyard. Here's a house in Wood Trace. Creekside Park again. So Creekside Park has a lot of options right now, which is super exciting. So that is actually a new construction. Is this the new? This might be what I was telling y'all about. Well, maybe not. Is that it? So this is right next to the park. So this is one new construction that's still in the Woodlands. So this is awesome. But again, $900,000. So I know that's not affordable for everyone. I wonder why that didn't pop up on the other list. Oh, I had picked elementary schools. That's why it didn't pop up on the other list. But I got to see, is this a house? I got to see another really cool house today. I'm pretty sure it was this one. It's hard to tell. Yeah. So this was a little too small for a Christmas tree. My clients asked me, what's this spot for? And I was like, normally you put a Christmas tree here. So lots of browns in this house, but it had a really cool floor plan. 5 bedrooms. It was really nice. I really liked the house and a game room. definitely in person looked amazing. So tons of really good links for Tomball. So again, George Lacey, broker owner of Joe & Co. My goal here at Joe & Co. isn't just to be your realtor, but to be your resource. Sorry if I was a little plain in this video. Been working really hard lately, and I have been trying to record one video a day, and it's a lot harder than I thought it would be, but I hope y'all are having a fantastic day. In a second, there's going to be a couple videos that pop up here, and a whole bunch of links are listed down below, so y'all can schedule a call with me or check out one of these resources. We hope to be there for you, and we hope you reach out to us when it comes time to relocate to Houston. I hope y'all have a good day. I'll talk to you soon. Bye, guys.